No matter how dead Batman is in Gotham Knights, this game can't escape his legacy as the best video game superhero. It mimics the free-flow combat that defined the Arkham series, and its open world, just like Eidos Montreal's previous Arkham Origins. It features many of the same villains that were already in Rocksteady's Arkham games. Gotham Knights tries so hard to convince you that it's different, and that Batman is truly, definitively dead, but all of its new characters end up pulling from the same old script.
Care to show me around Gotham?
Now you can thank me.
Thanks, Fox.
Gotham Knights did have me fooled for a few hours though. At first, it reminded me how delicious the Arkham-style third-person stealth combat can be. Gotham Knights benefits from the years-long gap between it and the Arkham series, because if you haven't spent time in those games recently, you might have forgotten how tremendous Arkham Asylum's combat was, and how consistent it stayed all the way through to Arkham Knight. It was already pristine, but Gotham Knights awkwardly tries to break it apart. Like so many games that transition into open-world RPGs with skill trees and levels and missions and crafting, it takes the resourcefulness and strengths of being Batman and scatters them across a big map for you to accrue over hours and hours of play. And it splits them up between individual heroes too. Gotham Knights' attempt to translate Arkham into an online co-op game fragment great design into jagged pieces for the cheap dopamine hit of gradual progression. Early on, Batgirl, Robin, Nightwing, and Red Hood are effectively Batman Light, but in 4 different sizes. Because they're interchangeable, they all have the same goal and rarely discuss anything outside of it. There are some minor tensions between the characters, but the game is mostly interested in finding an excuse to have 4 playable characters. The characters can't stray far from the mission or Batman's values, which dulls Gotham Knights' one major chance to differentiate itself from the Arkham games. Bosses have big health bars, hard-hitting combos, and area of effect attacks that are designed to simply punish your dodge timing and positioning compared to normal enemies. As a solo player, they're marathons that drain you of resources, forcing you to balance earning momentum and spending it on your own high-damage abilities to catch up. In co-op, they resemble simple MMO bosses that require whoever has their focus to work on dodging whilst the other gets damage in. Gotham Knights doesn't fully commit to archetypes like tank, support, and DPS, and as a result, each of the characters play like a diluted version of Arkham Batman. None of them have truly dramatic strengths and weaknesses until you dig down into the final parts of the talent trees. Craft unique gear, and equip them with stat-enhancing armor mods. The 4 heroes can't match how perfect Batman was as a video game protagonist. He's a walking Swiss Army knife of gadgets and fighting techniques, all of which are at your disposal. But Gotham Knights killed him, split his body into 4 parts, and forces you to play as one severed limb at a time. Even in a largely barren open world, Gotham Knights strained my PC's resources whilst clearing out all the crime and collectibles. I ran the game at 4K with DLSS enabled on a 3080 Ti and an i9-2900K, and the open world tanked my FPS down into the 60s and would dip even lower when I fought enemies near fire or other busy effects. Locking my FPS to 60 made it more consistent, but it wasn't enough to completely smooth out performance. None of my issues made the game unplayable, but it's concerning for players with lesser hardware, and made an early chunk of the game a pain to play as I adjusted settings. Everything in Gotham Knights is done better in other games, some with Batman and some without. The Arkham games had RPG-like talent trees and progression, but those were layered on top of already satisfying stealth and combat systems. Gotham Knights starts and ends with brawls that feel like fighting in mud, even compared to the developer's own Arkham Origins, and its large-scale version of Gotham is rife with duplicated crimes and almost no reason to keep it safe in the first place. It's a mostly empty playground for its 4 heroes to farm XP for the next mission. Gotham Knights tried to distance itself from Batman by killing him off, but instead it just split him into 4 pale imitations, adrift in a bland open world. It's just as well he's dead. Even Batman couldn't fix this mess.